experience that we really didn't even want to think about anymore. I mean, it's back in the back of your head, but I mean, you don't really want to think about it. We moved on, and we had a great end of the season. I mean, we wouldn't want to end it any better than what we did. So there's really no complaints that you can have about that.
Did you have were there some doubts or thoughts between you and the coaches, or were you not much worried about that at the beginning of last year when it wasn't for certain you were going to be the quarterback? Was that much?
If I understand what you're saying, I really know. It really wasn't like when Joker came in. Our QB room was genuine. We had fun, but when we got out there on the field, we knew that we had to compete for a start. There's only one quarterback to play, and we knew that. And when he came in, it was basically competed every day. We went out in scrimmage, and that's ultimately where you try to separate yourself. You try to be one of the best, and it's all about, can you make those guys around you play better and just not be the best QB out there. So it's all about having those other 10 guys on the field with you.
Trevone, is it appropriate that you and Baylor here on separate days while it's kind of gone back and forth between you guys last year?
I don't know if they set it up that way, but maybe. But no, like I've said, people been asking me about Baylor all day, and I don't feel like it's any bad blood. I just think it's a really good game every year, and it's just something that people just want to watch.
Is the Baylor game more special? The way you've been talking, maybe it's not, but it's a long way away.
Yeah.
But because of the how you lost it, is that something?
We both lost out. I mean, I feel like we should be two hungry teams that should be ready to play, and they didn't make the playoffs just as well as we didn't make the playoffs. So I mean, we used our bowl game as our playoff game, and that was the only one we had. But for Baylor, I know they're going to come to play, and we're both going to be fired up on both sides of the ball, and hopefully it'll be a good game.
How much did your surgery put you back?
I was only out during the month of May. So it held me back. Just that was like that get better time period that you have to go work with people like George, and I didn't really have that type of time in that. And I felt like I owe something to my team to just be with those guys and try to grow young guys up, because I mean, I can leave and go do all the work I can possibly do, but if I'm not working with my team, or if I'm not helping those guys get better, then I'm not really going to help myself either.
Well, you played with it the whole time, right? Though last fall, you played with half the season.
I heard it Baylor game, and I had surgery that week before the Oklahoma State game, and I just basically wore like a soft cast, and it didn't really bother me. And then I think they told me I was in it for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then after that, I wanted to take it off. But other than that, I mean, the risk is fine. It's not a big deal. It's nothing that I'm worried about going into the year.
Do you think much about the Heisman? You're way up there, and as a candidate.
I try not to think about it a lot. I mean, if I feel like if we win a lot of games, everything else will just work out for itself. So, I mean, it's a team game, and if I do win the Heisman, the whole city of Fort Worth, then my family will be so proud.
What are your main motivators going into your senior year?
Just trying to help my family, and just try to make this team and get these seniors the best possible senior that they can have, including myself.
First time you met with Doug Meacham, what was his message?
With Coach Meacham, fun is winning games. That's really all he taught me. He's one of those guys. He comes. He brings a lot of energy. He's smart. He knows what he's talking about half of the time. Yeah, only half. No, he's a great coach. I mean, he gets guys fired up. He can relate to just the young guys and how we play, and he knows that he's one of those guys that he's played in the system before. He's coached guys at Oklahoma State like Dez, and so there's really not too much you can't say bad about Coach Meacham. He's a great guy.
But to struggle the way you did in Stillwater the year before, I mean, even if he, what promises he made about the offense or whatever, could you have foreseen what was coming that quickly?
I don't think anybody could. It kind of happened, like I said, during the year. The first game we played Sanford, and then we backed over and played Minnesota. And those were two pretty good teams, and we beat those guys. But then our next challenge was OU, and then once we had got past them, it was like, and to be honest, that wasn't even our best game. We feel like we still 11 points out of them, but we had 2 fumbles in the fourth quarter that almost cost us the game. And like I said, we're better in offense now. It's our second year. Just some things that just can't happen.
Is there anything you need to work on? Is there any lapse in your game? Do you feel?
Everyone can get better. Yeah, like I said, just as far as throwing passes over the middle of the field and finding a running back when you're going through your progression, because those are the plays that might go for 60. So you really never know, and especially with the backs that we have, guys like Aaron Green and Hicks. So I mean, and the offensive line that we have, you really just never know what can happen when you just get those guys the ball.
Has it been
What is the biggest difference between coming into this season as opposed to last season?
We actually went to a bowl game the year before, so we ended up playing like Michigan State in the bowl game, and then that next year we didn't even make it to a bowl. And then sitting at home, just basically just like watching all those guys on TV and knowing that like you had a chance and you really didn't take advantage of it, that you could really be out there. So it was just like a bitter taste in our mouth that we really didn't want it. And like I said, we just wanted to get the seniors the best possible year that they can have.
What was the biggest difference last season? Was it that the offense finally started clicking for y'all throughout?
I guess you could say that, but like I said, Coach Cummey and Coach Beecham, they just brought a different attitude and a different swag to our side of the ball that we really didn't have before. And guys took it and ran with it. We bought in 100%, 110%, and like I said, after a couple games, we kind of knew our opportunity. We didn't have a good spring. Oh, well, we had a good spring. We didn't have a good spring game, and that whole summer, that's all everyone talked about was the fact that we really didn't have a good spring game and how would it go. And then Joker came in, and then it just became I was just a cluster. So once everything settled down and we knew who our guys were, and once we had settled down and we started playing, it was pretty easy.
When did Gary tell you last year that you were going to be the starting quarterback?
It didn't really come until after the Sanford game. It was the first game of the year. Me and Joker, we battled all throughout 2 days, all throughout camp. The separation was during the scrimmages that we had, and to be honest, it was close. It could have really went either way. So, I mean, it was just a blessing for me to get my opportunity and to go out there and really prove that I can play the game.
How close were you to playing wide receiver this time of year?
This time a year ago, it was pretty close. I mean, I think Casey had came back then. I mean, he has a strong arm. You know what type of guy he is. He's smart. He makes good decisions with the ball. It was just unfortunate that he had got hurt. So
Now I'm talking about last August.
Oh, this pad with Joko. So no. But with Joko, when Joko came in, it was basically just like I said, the QB room was still tight. It was basically we knew only one guy could play this position, and we competed every day just on the field. It was just grind. It was just every day in the heat and see who can and make the best decisions with the ball and make the people around you better.
Does being a wide receiver also help? You have an advantage over other quarterbacks who.
Yeah, just because I felt like playing quarterback made me a better receiver. Most receivers don't sit in the quarterback room and learn coverages and learn the plays like we do. So, just basically going out there, I pretty much knew when I was getting the ball and when I wasn't. So, it makes you better. And you always say the quarterback just give you a chance and once you're finally back there, you're that guy to give those people opportunities to make plays, and you do that, and we succeed, and we're being successful at it. There's really nothing more you can ask.
You guys played Baylor the day after Thanksgiving this year. Is that a sign that rivalry has become, one of the biggest?
I wouldn't necessarily call it a rivalry. I just think it's a really good game every year, and they came through in the end the past 2 years. I think the last time we beat those guys. Foles was the QB, was out there in Waco a couple years ago, and I think I was like a sophomore, my second game starting. So, we haven't beat those guys since then. And like I said, it's been a game every year, and I think that's why people want to call it a rivalry. But those guys are pretty good on both sides of the ball. We're pretty good on both sides of the ball, so we just have to show up and play.
Why wouldn't you call it a rivalry, Trevone? What's missing for us?
I would say the main, there's no trophy. I know we get after the SMU game, we get an iron skillet. So if you're going to really call it a rivalry game, it should live up to the hype and it should be an actual rivalry.
So did they need to create